everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom, where we talk football history through card breaks and the cards we love. My name is Jake T. O'Donnell. Today we're opening this pack of 1991 NFL Pro Set. So let's get right into it and see who we can find in this pack. We've opened a few NFL Pro Set packs, and this will be the first one that we've opened from this particular year. All right. First one is Harry Galbraith from the Dolphins. That is a name that's familiar to me. This is an era for the Dolphins where they are getting into Dan Marino is still there, and they're pretty much like a playoff team every year. And I think that Harry Galbraith is a critical part of that of those teams. He was the smallest member of the offensive line, and he was more of sort of a quick, tough guy, somebody who, like I said, part of those teams with Dan Marino. There is Trace Armstrong with the Chicago Bears, so it looks like he'd be somebody that was a little bit later on beyond the the Jim McMahon, that era. So there is Trace Armstrong. Next is Mike Horan. It's nice to get a good punter card in here. I'm going to push that back a little bit so you can see a little bit more of Mike. And yeah, that is your sort of classic orange crush look for the Broncos as they kind of get into this sort of different era beyond the as a sort of in between with John Elway. John Elway is obviously still there, and they're still very good. They go to the Super Bowl earlier on. This is like the Bills are kind of the dominant team in the AFC at this point, and then of course the Broncos, they get back to their sort of more dominant ways later on in the decade. There is Reuben Davis from the Tampa Bay Bucks, defensive end. He's going after a quarterback there. And again, we see the two sort of orange tableau uniforms between the Bucks and the Broncos. Here's a player. This is one. Here we go. So the name doesn't say the name on the front, but I know who that is. That's Rod Woodson, one of the great defensive players, defensive backs ever in the NFL. I think maybe a Hall of Famer. Cornerback with the Steelers, versatile athlete, second Pro Bowl in 1990. He was a kick returner and just a really tough, really good player. Again, the Steelers are heading into a great era at this point. That is a really, really nice card. A really cool look of just seeing him. It's like it's a painting basically. I think you kind of see that there's an artist signature at the bottom. So that's really cool that they did this in this set. That is really neat. So anyway, Rod Woodson, a really great cornerback, defensive back in the NFL. Speaking of the Steelers, there's Tim Worley, running back with the Steelers. I think a few years after this is when the Steelers get Jerome Bettis. So I can't say I know a ton about Tim Worley. I will say that I know a little bit more about this next guy, and that is Phil Simms, quarterback with the Giants during this sort of spectacular era. He is the quarterback in Super Bowl 21 that they win. I believe he went 22 of 25 in that game, and they win. That was the one. Can't remember which team they beat in that one. I know the second one they beat the Bills. They were aided by the Scott Norwood kick that went awry, but Phil Simms did not play in that game. That was Jeff Hostetler because Phil Simms was hurt. So he did not play, I think, really at all in that playoff run. But he was, of course, their quarterback that year. So anyway, Phil Simms was very good, not quite Hall of Fame, I don't think, quarterback in the NFL. And then, of course, went on to a long career as a broadcaster and was in the booth for a long time, as now does, I believe, studio work for CBS Sports. Okay. So next up is Eddie Murray, the kicker for the Lions. Of course, Eddie Murray is the name of a longtime baseball player as well. When I think of Lions kickers, I think of Scott Hansen, who was there for like 20 years. So Eddie Murray would have predated Scott Hansen, but that's him. There's Bruce Reimers with the Bengals. Again, he would have been sort of one of the top blockers for none other than Boomer Esiason. So there you go. here's Wayne Haddix, and I got to show you because of the back of this. He is. You knew that they were going to use this picture. There he is. He's wearing an NFL Pro Set hat. So there you go. That is going to get you. That picture is going to be the one that they use on the back of the card. If you're wearing the hat, the official gear of the, you're wearing the official gear of the official card of the NFL. So there you go. Here's Keith Traylor's name I remember. Their defense, he was a third-round draft choice. You can see it kind of right on the card there. So that's kind of cool. Here's an interesting one. This is a World League. So I'm going to be honest that somebody in the comments should tell me a little bit more about the World League, because I don't really know anything about it. Here's Stan Gelbaugh. He played for the London franchise, and he was the World League offensive MVP for this year. And I think that this is fascinating to me. This is, you kind of see some of his numbers there. The NFL World League, he played for they also played Barcelona. And yeah, that's fascinating. I don't know a lot about this. I remember some years after this, I remember NFL Europe. That was sort of a short-lived league. And then, now they play games over in Europe every year. Like, the Patriots played in London this year. Like, this is a pretty consistent thing where teams play internationally. Or actually, I'm sorry, the Patriots played in Germany this year. But yeah, tell me about the World League, because I don't really know anything about it. There is Eric Monten, a guard for the Chargers. I'm going to show you a couple. There's like this sort of weird card at the end, this playbook. Here's another Tony Baker, who played for the Frankfurt World League team. And again, I am genuinely curious about the World League, because I don't really know anything about it. So let me know. Let me know in the comments about the World League. Who's your favorite World League player? Tell me. And then this last card here is kind of interesting. This is a NFL newsreel. Pro football still America's favorite. And on the back here, it talks about the sport repeats a top national poll. America's #1 spectator sport in 1991. 60% chose football as the sport they were most interested in, matching results of a similar poll in 86. Baseball was second with 52, down from 59% in 1986. And these numbers have probably continued to trend. Obviously, I would say that baseball is probably not the second most favorite sport, but football certainly still is. And this is one thing that's interesting when you hear about these discussions about like what's America's most favorite sport or what's the best sport. Know that like nothing is new in terms of football being the most favorite sport in America. It's been a favorite sport in America for a very long time. I think since probably the 70s, 80s was really when it changed. And baseball is my favorite sport, but I can acknowledge that it has dropped off in terms of its popularity. But that takes nothing away from the fact that I would just reiterate that football is definitely the most popular sport in America, and it has been, and it continues to be all these years later. So anyway, we're going to finish with the cool Rod Woodson card, and that is going to do it for this pack of 91 NFL Pro Set. And that is also going to do it for this edition of Wax Pack Wisdom. So tell us what you thought of this break. What's your favorite card we pulled today? Do you have a story about one of the players in this pack? Leave us a comment and let us know. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, we invite you to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our Wax Pack Wisdom content. In the video description, you can find links to where you can follow Wax Pack Wisdom on all social media channels. You'll also find a link to a list of our favorite nonprofits and charities. If you enjoyed this video, please consider a donation to one of those organizations. It would mean a lot to us. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.